Don't be nervous.
Oh, I'm nervous. You got 3 people you're gonna be in charge of. Can you handle that?
I can handle that.
You think you can?
Yeah.
Dale's taking Drummond and Harrison and Garrett, and they're going to go roll up a bunch of fence on a place we bought last year. You think you can get it all today?
I think I can, but I doubt I can.
I might come up and supervise you later.
Oh, joy.
All right, I'm gonna grab this skidster. You got that trailer hooked up?
Yeah, I'll make sure everything's good.
All right, I'll be over there in a second. I don't mind waking Drummond and Harrison up because, well, they're teenage boys. As they get a little older, you're like, okay, I'm not waking you up anymore. Teenage boys, that's just part of it with them, I think. What in the world? Better get up and get dressed.
I set the alarm.
Oh my gosh, well, your alarm didn't work. You're gonna have to set 2 next time. Oh, now that's always fun. Fortunately, we're not in a hurry this morning. It's no big deal. I probably should have came over and woke them up earlier. So when those guys are rolling up fence, they got to pull up a bunch of posts and stuff. So I'm sending the skidster up there with them, give them something to pull all the posts out of the ground. There'll be some big corner posts that'll really be set down in the ground. All those posts they need to pull up, set over to the side, then we'll pick it up later. It's always good to have good equipment. Good equipment makes a difference.
Is it the Mosley? Kirk P. Mosley?
Yeah, I think so.
You notice how Dale let him pick it all the way up and get the hard part done. Say, here, let me get that. Send him over there to get that other one. That's good supervising there, Dale. I like that.
Yeah.
Where'd you learn that from? No, I don't think so. Maybe Chuck.
Well, them boys up?
No, they were sleeping. They're like, huh? Oh, I set an alarm. If you want to just go over and load your buggy up,
Yeah, can they catch me to something?
and they'll meet you down at the shop.
Yes, sir.
All right, that work for you?
Yes, sir.
All right, y'all don't get hung up there. I'm gonna be up to supervise a little later. So you get to supervise through the morning, then I'll be up in the afternoon to take over supervising. So when we're working 30, 45 minutes before we're gonna leave, or before we start saddling them, so it gives them 30 minutes to eat. So like if we gotta be up in Kansas at 5:30, I've gotta leave here by, probably 4:15. So that means you gotta feed them at 3:45 or 3:40. And they don't really like coming in at 3:40. They know something's not right. Now, but if you wait till later a little later in the day, so it's about 7 now, they'll be standing here waiting on you. If you do it at 3:30, they know something's up. They still come in though, because they like to eat. Isn't that right, boys?
Okay.
It's good to feed them every morning. And they really don't, this time of year, the grass is green. They don't have to be fed every morning, but it keeps them coming up every morning. Makes it a lot easier to get them in the pen so you can catch one. And I just like feeding them. It's kind of fun. Let's go see if Drummond and Harrison are awake. Brad? Did you brush your teeth?
Yeah.
You're not gonna make Harrison ride up there with you a stinky breath all morning, are
I
you?
brushed my teeth.
You did?
Yes.
All right. You wanna get this ice chest?
Yeah.
Put it in the back, and then you can stop in town. I told Dale, y'all gonna meet him down at the shop. But y'all can stop in town, get you some breakfast, fill your ice chest up. Don't dilly-dally when you're doing it. Be quick about it, all right? And I'll be up there to check on y'all a little later today. All right, be careful driving your Jeep.
Yeah.
Seriously. That's what I like about out here. They're going, Dale's gonna be there, but they got a little autonomy. You know, they got to learn how to do things on their own, help them make decisions, be smart, be a little bit in charge of themselves. It's kind of nice when they get where they can drive and you can be like, okay, y'all go meet this guy, go do this. It just gives you a little more freedom with them and allows them to take a little responsibility. And I think the earlier kids can start taking a little responsibility, the better it is for them.
Sometimes I think Oklahoma and dahlias are not meant to be, but I'm still fighting it and trying every year. They do great in Oklahoma until it gets over 95, and then it's like they're saying, why did you do this to us? See, with dahlias, you have to leave the center bloom and then cut off the two little side buds, and it makes the center bloom healthier and bigger. So what I love about gardening is there's so many life lessons. You know, you always kind of need to look for the things in your life that you need to kind of prune away so that you can be healthier. And, you know, whether that's what, Diet Dr. Pepper or, you know, bad habits or a job that's not working for you anymore. A garden is just, it's like a reset every morning. I don't mean to be corny, but I come out here sometimes just when it's getting daylight and it brings me joy. Look at this dahlia. Is that beautiful? I fell in love with dahlias like 20 years ago. I had a Martha Stewart Living magazine and she did a piece on a garden in Oregon. They've been in my heart ever since. I took about a 10-year garden break until we finished our house here, and then I knew this was one of the first things I wanted to do, but it does not get prettier than that. That is perfect. All right, I'm gonna snip some more buds. This is where I really kind of go slow for snakes. Oh, but it's such a rewarding little treasure hunt. Zucchini bread, zucchini muffins, zucchini pancakes, sauteed zucchini, zucchini noodles. Lots of ideas. So lad, if you're listening, probably gonna add 10 more flower beds next season. I'll grow extra things for pico de gallo. Extra tomatoes, extra peppers, extra cilantro, extra onion. See you tomorrow morning.
So right now we're out at a new piece of land that we bought up in Kansas, and we're doing some work to kind of clean up some of this old fence. So we're clipping all of the old T-posts, getting all of the wires off and rolling it up. I say we're, but I'm not really doing as much. I kind of came up here to supervise because I have to leave in a little bit. But we got a crew. We got Harrison and Drummond. They're my cousins, my younger cousins, so I get to boss them around. And then we got Garrett and Dell, but Dell had to run and get a part for our skidster because I guess a hydraulic part broke on it, and we use that to pull out the T-post. It makes it a lot easier. So whenever we get a new piece of land and we have some of this old fence like this, we always like to get it cleaned up so that it looks better up here. And I think we just put some cows on it, so it's important to kind of get all of this out of here and get it rolled up when those cows are on here. So that's kind of what we're working on today. Right, Drummond?
Yeah.
But the amount of times that I had to do this when I was little, it was awful. And my dad would just drop me off with my grandpa Chuck, and Chuck would just drive right beside you the whole time, sit in the AC in the car and just be like, you missed one. Like, go faster. You're gonna be here all day till dark if you don't get them all in time. And so now I think I have PTSD every time I do this. Chuck was like the glorified supervisor. That's the level that I'm trying to be on. So they have this real long stretch of fence right here. They're just gonna keep going down and clipping the wires or unclipping the wires off of these T-posts Dell will get back here with the skid steer and then they'll roll up all this wire. We have an attachment that does it pretty easily. And then they'll wrap a chain around these, they pull them out of the ground, load them all up. And it'll just make this area a lot more open, look a lot better. I have to get out of here soon because I got to get back to Dallas. So I'm not too sad about it because it's hot over here. But I just had to come up here and make sure that they knew what they were doing and that they were actually working. I'm sure as soon as I leave, they're going to go get a pop over there. So, but yeah, I think my dad's going to be up here soon, so he'll be the other supervisor to stop in. But my work here is done.
Any need to. Let's go cut those wires over there and get them ready to roll up. Well, these other ones got a bunch of staves in it, so it's not easy. Now that wire is old and brittle. As Chuck would say, I think that came over on the Mayflower. It doesn't take much to break it. Older than you, huh, Dal?
Huh?
So that wire's older than you, huh? Okay, you want to pull the post or you want to roll that wire up over there?
Either way, you can roll it wire up.
On that other side. Well, let's go roll it real quick while they're doing that, and then Drummond can come help you pull posts. You can get this tight. I'm gonna walk down there and pull it all out and make sure it's gonna flow to you.
Okay, I'll wait.
Okay, but you can tighten it up a little. Sometimes these young guys, they didn't realize, pull that out a little bit, get it away from those posts and those sticks and all that extra junk, and it rolls just a little easier. Plus, then you can find any spots where the wire might be broke, like this spot right here. You can come back in, tie that in on that wire, wrap it around it, tie it in. It just makes it go easier when you actually roll it. Okay, just lay, it'll be fine. You only have to tie it back in if it comes from the other direction. But it looks like it's coming. Somewhere in there we got some wires that aren't part of it, like this. Okay, now we'll do the same thing with this stretch right here that y'all just undid over here, okay? Let's go on and finish it. I like to get to a good stopping point before I stop. So, same thing we were doing a while ago. Just be smart about it. Let me show you. Just set it right over here and we'll get it wrapped up with this other piece. You don't have to set it out very far. Try to set it out into short grass, but just make sure it's loose. So just, yeah, it's hung up on something. And it looks like there's a wire right there broke. Hey, so right here. You'll have to tie that wire back in, okay? You know how to tie it back in? Let me show you. All right, so if we're pulling from this end and this wire's broke going back this way, that means that this wire from here won't pull unless it's tied into these wires. So you get them up, wad the rest of these up, then you just wrap this around it like that. All right, and then that ties it back in where it's part of the bunch now, and it should pull. If it breaks, yeah. You have to tie in the side that it's coming from, not the side it's going to. Does that make sense? Nice cool breeze. Okay, Harrison, you go back up there and show them where we started. All right, so Dale can tie on, and then when I holler at you, you can go. Because neither one of them can hear or see, so that's dangerous to have them up there. I wasn't gonna sweat today. I don't know what happened here, Drummond. And hey, I ripped my pants a while ago. I'm blaming that on you. If you hadn't shown me that that could happen, I'd been fine. Are you? I know, it's your fault. Watch out, you're gonna get rip on your shirt if you're not careful. That's all your fault that I ripped my pants. I'd have been fine if you hadn't showed me that you could do that.
It's possible.
I know, you showed me. And I had to go replicate it. Well, Dale might just roll us all up. That gets most of these big sections of wire rolled up. That's probably where we're going to finish up for the day. So we're going to leave this, come back, and we'll pull these posts on another day. It's kind of hot. I broke a sweat. I wasn't planning on sweating today. I cut my arm. Drummond caused me to cut my pants. So gets any worse, I might get snake bitten if I get down here. I might want to be careful. It may not be my day to be down here. But it went good. Boys, you know, I love doing this type of stuff with these kids, and I like being here myself to, you know, show them the tricks, show them what to do. These other guys, Garrett and Dale, sometimes they'll just do it instead of telling them, hey, do this, do that. You know, you kind of have to tell them. I mean, these two boys are good help. They want to work. You know, but you got to be there to kind of tell them, hey, do this, do that. I mean, they're like they're teenage boys. They'll sit around and watch you all day if you want to. But if you can tell them what to do, then they'll get in, they'll get after it, and it's not too bad. But if you let them, they'll just sit and watch you and say, oh, hey, that's cool.